How's it going, gamers? Daybreaker Rein here, coming at you with just another gaming rant, and I'm here to talk to you about my thoughts on the reveal trailer for the Nintendo Switch and what I think about it as a whole. After giving the trailer a good watch, I will say that the idea of a console handheld hybrid does interest me. The idea that you can play the system with a friend on one unit as opposed to having two is a nice feature that sings a specific tune with me, since when I am out and about with friends, I oftentimes bring a handheld with me and no one can play with me. So the idea of having a two-player mobile device at your fingertips is pretty interesting and would suit me well. Unfortunately, that is about as far as the concept holds my attention. As it stands right now, I do not know enough about the specs of the console, let alone what kind of games we can expect at its launch, to warrant me being as hyped as some people are. Let me make it clear though, this isn't because I prefer Sony or Microsoft over Nintendo, it is simply that there is too many red flags for my taste to get excited about the launch of a console that is a little more than 5 months away. These red flags pertain to a few things that were made public as information is being found. Firstly, the trailer used Skyrim as one of the games it showed being played on the Switch. However, Bethesda has come out and said while they are excited to be supporting the Switch, Skyrim has not been confirmed as a title to be released on the console. So this brings about the question of why use Skyrim at all in the trailer. Showing Skyrim isn't necessarily the pinnacle of gaming today, and it isn't necessarily something to be oohing and awing at. Nintendo has not held any of the Elder Scrolls titles on its many platforms, and while there can be appeal in that for the Nintendo purists who have never touched the series, it certainly isn't the most graphical, intense game out there. The idea of it being mobile and having an Elder Scrolls game on the go holds some appeal as well, but in my opinion I feel that a fresh new Elder Scrolls game would be a better approach for Nintendo, rather than porting a game that was made widely available on the previous generation of consoles. Another red flag is that further investigation into the trailer has shown that footage they displayed was pasted over the screens of the consoles and the TVs. Meaning, while not only was the Skyrim footage a placeholder, but all footage was. This leads me to believe that as it stands right now, there is no game that has been developed for the console that is in a showable state. With the deadline for release being so close, this does leave me concerned that there could not be a strong lineup of games at the launch for the console, which I feel is what Nintendo doesn't need to occur. For this system to be a success, they need to come out with a strong lineup of titles that really shines in comparison to how the PS4 and Xbox One launched. Many gamers were reluctant to make the switch to current gen due to the initial launch being primarily ports with very little to offer in terms of original exclusive titles. Nintendo could really shine if they came out swinging with the release of the Switch and had a solid lineup of familiar and new titles alike. However, this brings me to yet another red flag. Nintendo has stated that no further information about the console or its potential lineup will be released for the remainder of the year, meaning that come January it will be as little as 3 months away for the launch of the Switch, which I am sure while it will have Nintendo fans who are hyped about the new console on the edge of their seats, it makes me reluctant to have faith that Nintendo will be delivering on something that truly will put them back in the race with a solid leg to stand on in today's modern gaming market. I also want to address the leak of the price, as well as the rumor about battery life of the console. The price leaked for the console was set at $349, and I can't help but feel that this might be a deterrent for potential clientele. The PS4 Slim on its launch will be at $299, while the PS4 Pro will be sitting at $399. This squashes the Switch's price between both current-gen consoles that I feel have a lot more to offer in terms of their capabilities. Let's be real here. The focal point of the trailer focused on the mobile aspect of the Switch. At the end of the day, this is really an overglorified handheld with a docking station for TV play. I can honestly say that I am doubtful that this new innovation by Nintendo will be running as powerful as the PS4 or Xbox One. While graphics are not everything, I feel that there is a standard that should be met with today's tech. Nintendo has been reluctant to make that jump, and it feels like they might end up suffering because of that. With more modern tech on their side, they could easily be a force to be reckoned with. With how artsy Nintendo has been, especially with games like Splatoon, I could only imagine that most of their ideas would fare better from upgrading to a higher tech that allows for more than what you can get out of a handheld device. The rumor about the battery life is one that I can't put any sort of definitive assertion into. As with all rumors, this one could have been made in the geist of the hype surrounding the Switch and made solely to add more fuel to the fire of the controversy. The rumor says that the battery life is only 3 hours, which by modern tech of today from mobile phones to handhelds is absolutely unacceptable if found to be valid. Nintendo might not be upgrading to the graphics tech of today, but given that the focal point of this console is that you can take it on the go, battery life should be a top priority to make the system enjoyable for a good length of time without needing a charge. Having a low battery life could be detrimental to sales. This rumor has gotten around, and I even saw comments on a video I watched of people actually saying they'd be okay with buying power packs in order to give it a extended battery life. While I can't stop people from spending their money how they want, I would like to say that with today's tech, you shouldn't have to buy extra peripherals simply to get a few more hours out of your device. Much like how I feel when it comes to graphics tech, there is a standard when it comes to the expectancy of battery life these days. So I want to go ahead and wrap up everything. Personally, I feel the Nintendo Switch is just not for me yet, and while it could come out strong and have a great lineup of games, I just don't see the hype as being something I could contribute to. Whatever the case may be when the day of launch arrives, I want to express to everyone who is hyped for this console that I can only hope you are not disappointed and that it lives to your hype. The next 5 months are going to be interesting to say the least, and I can only hope that Nintendo delivers to their fan base something great. As always, I want to thank everybody who stops by and gives my video a listen. If you have your own impressions and thoughts on the Nintendo Switch, I would love to hear them in the comments below. Feel free to rate, subscribe, or check out my other videos on different subjects in the Just Another Gaming Rant series. I'll leave a link in the description to the playlist. To my regular viewers, I would like to apologize for the lack of content. I have currently been without a PC to do streaming or any sort of editing, and restricted to the use of my laptop while I wait for my new rig to arrive. Once it is here, expect to see me come back in full with more streaming and gaming related content. Also, for those interested, I will be doing my next extra live stream this coming Saturday for the month of October. While I had an original list of games planned to celebrate the month of October, I might not be able to get to do those unless my rig gets here in time. If not, I'll be streaming a couple games for my PS4 that fit the theme of the month. So I hope to see you all there at Daybreaker Rein on Twitch at 12 PM US Mountain Time. And as always guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.